Hi friends. Before we get started, it's very important that you make sure that you have the correct atmosphere and the environment to work to get the most out of this experience. So what I'd like for you to do as you sit there in your room, wherever you are, to make sure that you're in a space that's very comfortable for you so you can go within and have the experience. So whether you're lying on the floor hearing my voice or looking at me in the video or sitting at your desk, that's fine too. I just want to make sure it's comfortable for you. And I want to make sure that there's no outside disturbances, no distractions from telephones or people or outside lawnmowers or wherever it might be. This is your time. This is your time to go within and have some insights. So just make sure that's taken care of. I'll wait for you. You put me on pause. Okay, so the first thing to realize is, number one, everything is energy. You hear about that term all the time, energy. What is energy? Energy basically means molecules that vibrate or move at a certain rate or speed. We as a soul being are encased in this physical body. We have to remember that this three-dimensional human world, the school called Earth, moves or vibrates. The energy moves at a certain rate of speed. So it's always like that, right? Just on a certain rate of speed. But all around us are various levels of energy that vibrate or move at different rates of speed. So for instance, around us all we have microwaves, cell phone waves, we have gamma rays, we have television waves, and you don't see those waves. You don't see people's faces from the television show above your head. You don't see people's voices coming in from cell phones, but yet we know they exist because we received that phone message on the other line or we see the image of the television set. So just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So that's an insight that you have to remember. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Energy is all around us. It's all around us, and each part of energy, each dimension, has a different characteristic and a different form. Okay? So just be aware that everything around you is energy. As you look at the world around you, start seeing it from an energetic point of view. It's an energetic point of view, moving like waves all around you. You in this three-dimensional body, this three-dimensional shell, it's kind of a very slow-moving vibration of energy. The spirit people will often say, oh, you're the walking dead because everything's so slow down here. So you as a soul being, encased in this physical vibration, sometimes it gets frustrating because your spirit vibrates very, very quickly, yeah? But you're encased in this three-dimensional world, which slows it down. That's why me as a medium, when I'm able to see and feel spirit, they're at a very high frequency of energy, and I'm able to attune myself that higher frequency of energy and able to interpret that energy. So it's all about energy. Just want you to know that. Now, I want you to feel energy. So begin, if you would, just to hold your hands like this, just about a foot apart. And I just want you to close your eyes. Just close your eyes. And I just want you in your mind, just in your mind, in the center of your head. Really important just to be in the center of your head. That's kind of your driver's seat. Okay, so as you close your eyes and just take a deep, relaxing breath, inhale and exhale, and good. And place your awareness in that space in between your hands. And I just want you to characterize that space in between the hands. What does it feel like? What do you sense in the space between the hands? There's no good, there's no bad, no judgment here. Just be open to whatever you feel, okay? Just going to feel energy. So whatever you're feeling, fine. And now very slowly, bring those palms closer together, and not too fast, don't rush it, and you'll begin to sense or feel a change of that space. How does that space change? What's the impressions of the space changing? And if you go a little bit closer, you'll begin to feel a sense of polarity of negative, positive, push-pull. And I almost say it's like an accordion, like you're playing an accordion. And just sense what that energy feels like, needles or pins, and you'll begin to feel that. And I just want you to play with that magnetism because it'll feel like polarities, shifting polarities of magnetism. Just play with that. Ooh, that's energy. That's it. And make an energy ball. That's great. And you begin to feel that. That's really important. Did you get that sense of that, what that feels like? It's so subtle. It's very, very subtle. And just play with the subtlety, because this is all about subtlety. It's not going to hit you over the head. It's very subtle. And you can bring the hands further apart now and see how, if you bring them apart, the energy dissipates the further you bring them apart. Isn't that interesting? Great. So that's personal energy. Energy is coming out of us all the time. Really, energy is coming in and out. And those are what I call the programs. But just for right now, I want you to tune yourself to what energy feels like. Great. So we've done that. Now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take one of your hands, put the other one down in your lap, and I just want you to get down to the very bottom below your stomach and just feel, we call it the root chakra, or the second chakra even. You can do both, that's fine. And about 2 inches out, I just want you to feel the difference in the frequency, what that feels like. It's very different than holding the space in between the hands. Just feel it subtly. And then bring your hand up to the belly button area, and you'll feel a very different subtle energy there. So the belly button area, and right above the belly button, 2 inches above the belly button, is really your main psychic center. That's where the radio is, where you receive and give off programs. Receiving energy, you're receiving other people's energy. You do it right in the solar plexus. That's a main psychic center. So feel what that energy is like there. And the more I put my hand closer to my stomach, the more my stomach goes, oh, I feel the difference, the subtle difference, the impression the hand is giving that. Wow. Great. Now move higher to the heart. And the heart is really giving out a lot of energy. So the energy protrudes out in front of us. And I feel a very different energy there. To me, it feels a lighter energy of the heart. It feels more creative energy of the heart. It feels, I love the heart energy. It feels such a great sensation when you do this. For me, when I do healing work, I use a lot of the heart energy. And later, we're going to be using this heart energy to do some readings with each other. That's very, very important. Yeah. So just feel that. And now go to your throat chakra, up to the throat. And just feel what that's like. Just a subtle difference between those 3 energy points. And the throat chakra, which we'll talk about later, gets really into creativity, and it's a blue color, and I just want you to feel it. It's all this exercise about is feeling that energy, the subtle differences. And then go to the third eye chakra center, which is where you see, and it just, to me it's very open, and my hand is drawn out, like the energy is just going so far out, which would make sense because I'm a clairvoyant. So it makes sense the energy is going straight out. Such a different frequency than the other points. Yeah. So that's just, so you attune yourself to what energy feels like. And then try to go to the crown chakra, the top of the head, and see what the energy is like there. And I love that. It feels a little bit, it's hard to put this in human terms, physical terms, but it feels energetically a little bit lighter, but also there are definitely some things in there, which is very different than the heart and the third eye. With the third eye pushed out, this crown chakra to me is, I feel a lot of energies there, which means there are a lot of guides and people around me, which makes sense, trying to impress me at this moment as I'm speaking to you. They're inspiring me. Remember, inspire means in spirit, so that would make total sense. You might feel that as well. Great. And then just rub your hands together to break the energy. I also find when I work with energy, it's very important that we know Mother Earth works with us, of course, all the time. So if I have any excess energy that I pick up, whether by myself or working with somebody else, I shake it off. I shake off the energy and let Mother Earth, who's a wonderful magnet, and we'll use her a lot during the course, that she will take the excess energy that we have and she will pull that in and really recycle it to love. It's like manure. She'll take it and she'll use that. So we don't need any excess energy. Now, sometimes if you want to really, when you're with somebody in a meeting you've had with somebody and you feel kind of funky about their energy, we all know that experience. When you walk into a room, you'll feel a sense of what that is. Or you meet somebody and you feel an immediate connection with that person, or you feel an immediate sense of repel. Ooh, I don't like that. What are you feeling? What are you sensing? That's energy. You're sensing energy. So the room that you walked in, there might have been a meeting, a business meeting, and where people are thinking so strong, and you're picking up the thought forms energetically that are in that room. And if you're a sensitive, an empath, you'll pick up those thought forms. You'll pick up that energy of overthinking things, the mental energy. And to you, like, oh my gosh, what was in this room beforehand? Or let's say you walk into a church or a place of worship. How do you feel when you walk in there? Very different energy. You're sensing an energy, which is a loving energy, which is a wonderful energy connection with the spirit. So that's a lovely light energy. You'll feel that. So the same with people, as I've said. You meet somebody, you feel an immediate connection energetically with somebody. You're receiving their programs, and you're receiving that and being able to translate us feels like a nice person. It feels like a connection here. Or you'll meet somebody and you'll feel it instantly. Oh, I sense they're not a good person. I sense I don't like that person. We've all done it. We all had those experiences. So that's what it is. It's energy that you're sensing and that you're really interpreting, if you will. So energy is all around us. It's in our everyday life. And I want you from this point on to really, when you go out and interact with people, stop and first sense the energy. Sense the energy of the person. Even if you don't have them in the room yet, just try to impress and sense, what am I going to feel when I meet this person, if you've never met them before? Or if you have met somebody before, you're having a friend at dinner or a meeting with a friend, sense, what do you feel, what's going on with your friend that day before they get into the room, and see how accurate you are sensing energy. So you can sense energy also remotely, because we're not limited to this physical body by energy. We can, with our mind, the energy can go to remote places, remote areas. You can go across the country, across the world, and you can sense energy. So many times I find, if I just put someone's name, I focus on a name, let's say Alice. I'm going to see Alice. How is Alice? I will energetically sense what the energy is like with Alice right now and try to interpret what I'm picking up with Alice. And then I'll call her up on the phone half an hour later, and Alice will tell me all these things going on. I'll say, hold on, I'll tell you what's going on. And she'll say, how did you know that? As I tuned into your energy. So everything is energy, so you can definitely remotely connect with someone's energy there. Or let's say you're going to have a client. You have a session with a client coming in. Now, the best way I have found in order for you to work with a client on an intuitive level is before they come into that space. First, this is so great. It's so exciting. Isn't this exciting? I love working with energy. If you have the space in your house or your office, that would work great because you can control the space. In other words, what I do before I have a client come in is I will actually sit in that space and I will clean that space or clear that space. So any leftover energy, I will become aware of what's going on in the atmosphere around me. And what I will do is I will work really hard at cleansing the energy, clearing that space, and become very neutralized. And so there's nothing that's influencing me in that space, but that person, the client, when they first come into the door, I'm able to pick on them purely and not be influenced by other atmospheric influences, energetic influences. So in order to start, before you start a reading with somebody, your connection, you want to clean the space and clear the space. And we'll go into that a little bit later about how you want to ground a space and clear a space, but that's really important. You also have to be very involved with doing your preliminary work, which is before you see a client, you really want to work on yourself, your own energetic field, and really work the energy around your auric field, your energetic envelope, and make sure that you're pretty pure, you're pretty open, so that when you meet them, you'll be picking up their programs, not your own. Really, really important. So we'll go more into that with the grounding, running your energy, and continue our lovely journey.